This video will show how to properly use the resin threshold, watermark, and sublimation intensity settings. We start with the resin threshold. The printing ribbon is composed of 3 colors: yellow, magenta, and cyan. Each color is a panel on the ribbon. Additionally, the Barmel tape has an overlapping layer and, depending on the type of ribbon, has 1 or 2 panels of black resin. This pattern is repeated for each print. The printer has 2 options to print the black colors. It can apply heat to each of the colors, creating a print with an interleaved color that simulates being black, or print directly with the extra panel 100% black. The choice of whether to use one option or another will depend on the application. For example, if the credential has a barcode, it is advisable to activate this function, since when printing 100% black, the scanner will read the code without problem. To enter this configuration, you enter Printing Preferences, and then, in the tab Resin Panel K. By default, the option is disabled. Click on the checkbox. In the lower section is a bar which defines the resin threshold by a percentage. Its function is to determine when to print in 100% black resin, or if printing with interleaved colors. For example, if it is at 99%, it means that if there is a color that is 99% black, it will print it with the resin panel. Up next will be 3 examples of impressions with 3 different configurations. This is the first impression with resin printing disabled. As you can see, the photograph looks correctly, but the barcode and black text is not seen with such intensity. This will be the second impression with the resin activated and the threshold at 99%. It is observed that the photograph looks mostly good, but that the shadow inside the photograph is highlighted too much in black, and that the barcode and black text looks more intense and defined. In the event that the photograph is affected by printing with the black panel, the resin configuration must be made in defined areas. The black boxes are adjusted so that the barcode and black text are printed with the black resin, but that the photograph is printed with the colors leaving the space of the photograph in white. In the next impression, the threshold was placed at 50%. As you can see, the photograph was drastically affected and does not look correctly. This is what would happen if the resin threshold is configured erroneously. In general, the threshold will have to be left at 99% to avoid this problem. Now we will move on to the watermark settings. This configuration is available if the ribbon has the overlay layer. This layer is the transparent layer that is printed at the end on the already printed design. The watermark consists of printing a design on that layer. You access Printing Preferences and then the Overlay tab. At the bottom, the watermark option will be activated. Then you will enter the configuration option. Here the image will be loaded. This image must be in monochrome bitmap format with a resolution of 1013 by 638 pixels. Once the image is loaded, you can configure how that image, polarity, orientation, or mosaic will be printed, and also the print contrast. Once that setting is accepted, any prints that are sent will have that watermark. As you can see in this video, the watermark was printed correctly. Now we will move on to the sublimate configuration. Before continuing, consult with an authorized technician, since these settings change the temperature of the print head, and if they are very high, it is possible that they result in printing failures or broken ribbon. Do not move to more or less 25%, being the ideal that always this is at 0%. This configuration will be made when there is a difference between the color defined in the design and the printed color. In general, this difference is corrected within the design, changing the color intensity or checking if the color palette is suitable, because the computer screen is RGB and the printer is YMCK. If this does not correct it, then the sublimation intensity can be adjusted to solve it. Access to Printing Preferences and then go to the Image Color tab. In the first slider bar will be the intensity of sublimation. Below we will show 3 impressions with different configurations. The top print has -25%, which results in a pale print. The central is with the ideal configuration at 0%, the printing is correct. The lower one has +25%, resulting in a darkened and error-prone impression. Here are the more detailed impressions. -25%. Very pale. 0%. Ideal. +25%. Obscured. In this way, the resin threshold, watermark, and sublimation intensity settings were shown. For more information, contact your local provider.